So 2025 was like the worst reading year ever. Like, I did better than 2024. I had maybe like 1 5-star, and that was it. I was in like basically a year-long reading slump. Another goal of mine also is I have all of these books. These are all the books that aren't on the list. Like, that's crazy. I'm such a mood reader that like when there is a book that I want to read, I have to read it right then and there. So it's hard for me to read a lot of my physical books. Like, I feel like I barely read any of the books that I actually own last year. All of these books I actually own, and I'm gonna kind of do it in order of when I'm gonna read them, but it's obviously not gonna be in the exact same order. And I'm also gonna count a series as one book instead of like 6 and whatever. So anyways, these are 26 books that I want to read in 2026. I'm super excited for this reading year. My goal is to read 40 books, which was my goal last year, but again, like I said, I was in like the worst reading slump ever. But this year I'm focusing on my hobbies and not so much spending time on my phone. So here we go. First book that I want to read in 2026 is Project Hail Mary. I'm actually like 160 pages in. I had it on Libby and I didn't start it until like way later, so my loan expired, but I actually ended up buying it because I really like it. It's basically about this guy. He wakes up and he's in space and he's all by himself. 2 people that are in the spaceship are dead. He has no idea why he's there. He doesn't even know who he is. Like, he just wakes up from being in a coma and has amnesia. As you're reading it, he gets his memories back, and it kind of like puts all the pieces together, why he's there and whatever. This because Sarah Caroli read it and she liked it, and she's not a sci-fi reader, so I was like, you know what, this is something new, this is fun. And yeah, I really like it. It's very science-y, so like some of the things he says, I have no idea what he's talking about, but like at the same time he still like makes it interesting. The next series slash book I want to read is Twilight, the whole series, the whole like, you can probably see it actually, all of these. I want to read. I started to read it back in August, but again, I was just in a really bad reading slump, and it's like I read it fast, but I wasn't reading it. So I'm doing a tandem read between Twilight and Midnight Sun. About halfway through Twilight, but I just need to really just pick it up and read it. It's not even like I hate it. I love Twilight. Twilight is my life. Yeah, I just really need to sit down and read it. So the next series that I want to read is 50 Shades of Grey. Kyle's mom gave me this, or she didn't give me it, she's letting me borrow it, and I've had it for like literally almost a year and I have not started it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I think I watched like the first movie when I was like a sophomore in high school. It's like a funny like friend thing, but other than that, I don't really know that much about it. But I love Dakota Johnson. I love her movies, so I have a feeling I will like the book. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like, every single mother has read this series. Like, I remember my mom had a Kindle and she was reading this series, and I would like screen peek over it. Like, that's how I started liking like spicier books. But there are just a lot of series that I want to read this year, which is good because then it like adds up. But I'm just not very good at reading series. This series I have been wanting to read for so long, at least like 2 or 3 years. I only have 3 of the books. I think there's 5. But the Off Campus series, I desperately want to read, especially The Legacy, because that is about hockey, and I love hockey, and I love hockey romances. Yeah, I desperately need to read this series. And then another series I want to reread is the Maple Hill series. Icebreaker is one of my favorite books. I love Icebreaker, again, because I love hockey romance, but I have not read these two, Wildfire and Daydream, and I'm curious to what they are about. I really, really need to read this series. Number 6, I have not read the last book in the Heartstopper series yet. I love Heartstopper. I love the show. I love the comics. I have not read the 5th one, and I've had this for at least a year, so I desperately need to read this book. I want to go through an Emily Henry kick because I love her books, at least the ones that I've read, except I don't really like Happy Place, but I love Beach Read. I love People We Meet on Vacation. So People We Meet on Vacation, this was actually a 5-star read the first time I read it, but then the second time I read it, I wasn't that much of a fan. But I am curious if I reread it again to see, like, before the movie comes out, to see like my thoughts on it, because this was like one of the books that got me into reading. I remember this is the first book I like re-picked up from the library, so it's very sentimental to me. And the next one is Beach Read. I have also read this book 2 times, and the first time that I read it, I wasn't that much of a fan. The second time I read it, I really, really liked it. So I am also curious to see my thoughts. I actually am so upset because the second time that I read it, I like annotated, highlighted everything, and somehow it got mold all over the front cover, so I had to throw it out. So that's why I kind of want to read this again, so I get my annotations. The next Emily Henry book I want to read is Book Lovers. This is actually the UK edition. I went to this like bookstore up north and they had it, so I had to get it, but I have not read Book Lovers yet. I desperately need to. And then the last one is Funny Story. I have not read this book. Again, another series that I desperately need to read is the Hunger Games series. I don't have Mockingjay or Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds. I think I have it on my Kindle, but I love the Hunger Games. I love the Hunger Games movies, and I haven't read the books in a really long time, so I want to reread them so I can read Sunrise on the Reaping, because I just have a feeling I'm gonna love it. I have decided that I'm not a fantasy reader. I think I like more of, like, I like ghosts and like vampires and like that side of fantasy, like supernatural fantasy, I guess. So I want to read Kingdom of the Wicked. I heard this book is really, really good. I think it was on my TBR for the fall time, but again, like I've said for the millionth time, I did not have a good reading year. So it might be like a witchy book. I don't really know, but I'm excited. Another duology I want to read is Six of Crows. I have not read Six of Crows. I've heard so many people be like, if you haven't gotten into fantasy yet, read Six of Crows. So I need to. I know Sarah Crowley loves Six of Crows, so I need to read it. I desperately need to read it. I have a feeling I'll like it since it's about like fairy tales and stuff. The only dark romance book that I will be reading, I think, is Haunting of Adeline. I don't know if I am particularly a dark romance girl. I've only read really one dark romance, and it was okay. It wasn't like my favorite thing in the whole entire world. So I don't know. We'll see. Now for some thriller mystery books. Really want to read the Mindfuck series. I've heard so many good things about it. And I definitely think I'll like it because it's like Criminal Minds meets Dexter. Super excited about it. So Then we have The Naturals. I've heard this is a lot like Criminal Minds, which I've never watched Criminal Minds. I've only watched like a good crime show that I really like is High Potential. If you have not watched that show, you desperately need to. It's so good. Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I have had this book for 3 years now, and every Halloween it's on my TBR, and I've just never read it, so I'm gonna read it this year. We have the Thursday Murder Club series. I have heard nothing but good things about this series. I don't know how many books are in there. Yeah, my sister gave me this, and this book was on sale, so I bought it because I wanted to read the series, but I didn't have the first one. My sister bought me the first one, not even knowing that, so freaky. We have the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know why I have not read this series. I read Listen for the Lie, which I feel like this is kind of similar to that, but yeah, I have not read this series. I think, could be wrong, but I think the TV series is coming out soon for this, or it's already come out. I don't know, but I'm excited to read this. Another series that I want to read is the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. Again, this has been on my TBR for so long, but I think the fact that it's such a long series is really scaring me. And I'm not good at series at all. But yeah, I just find this so interesting, and I just desperately need to get on the bandwagon. Like, this has been a very popular book for like 5 years now, and I am just now like wanting to. Well, I've said it at least like the past 3 years that I was gonna read this series, but whatever. For some contemporary fiction, we have Just Kids by Patti Smith. I don't actually know what this book is about. I want to say it's like 70s, 60s vibes. So yeah, I really want to read that. My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I don't really know what this book is about, to be honest. So then we have I Who Have Never Known Men. This was like a book that you need to read before it gets banned. And then we have The Handmaid's Tale, which is another banned, but I actually started this book, but I really wasn't in the mood for it, so I stopped. But I really want to watch the show too, because I've heard the show is really good. Our last one, can you guys guess? Daisy Jones and the Six. I love this book. It's my favorite book ever. She is my holy grail. Oh, she's my holy grail. She's my love. Me and her, hearts. But yeah, this is just a book that I constantly pick up whenever I'm like, I hate reading, or like I'm just not in the mood to read. I pick this up and I'm like, this is why I love reading. This book reminds me why I love reading, why this is like my hobby, why I'm passionate about it, and so forth. So yeah, those are the 26 books that I want to read in 2026. We'll see if we get to them. I'm not a good reader. I'm really not. I just do this, like, I just made this video because I think it's fun to watch. So thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I hope you guys have a good reading year, because I am desperately wanting one. So yeah.